Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear, and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. This is the extended review of the 4000 lumen Fenix TK75. All right, here we are with the 2015 edition of the Fenix TK75. So what did they change from the original version to this one? They changed that number right there, and that's pretty much it. So it's now at 4,000 lumens. I think the original was 2,900 or something like that. But it's definitely a noticeable improvement. I unfortunately don't have one of the original ones to compare them side by side outside. But you can watch the video. I do always use the same settings, the same camera and everything. So you can watch the original video and watch the new video if you want to see the difference in the beam and output and everything. So let's go ahead and take this out. Actually, we're going to talk about some specs on there right quick. So 650 meters of beam distance on there, meter of impact resistance, 4,000 lumens on max output. And as always, you can get the full specs on our site, goinggear.com. They always have these in there nice and tight, so it takes a little bit of effort to slide it out of there, which is kind of nice, helps protect it. And it's not like you're going to keep the cardboard sleeve on it after you receive it or anything. So here is the plastic case. So normally the plastic cases that a lot of these lights come in are kind of a waste. I mean, they're just, excessive packaging. You're not really going to do anything with them. But this one isn't that much larger than the light. It's actually a pretty reasonable case, and it's something that's pretty reasonable to actually store the light in. So it's not a bad case. It's not massively larger than the light itself, so it's reasonable to have the light in, because you can see it's pretty much the same size as the case. So you have a strap here. You can actually attach a strap, so that's what that attachment point is for, is if you want to attach a strap, and you can actually unscrew that as well if you don't want to have that on there. So you can have a shoulder strap, because this thing isn't super heavy, but it's also not the lightest thing in the world. So you also have a lanyard in there, some spare O-rings, user manual, warranty information, all the standard stuff. So let's pull this out. We'll set it to the side. We're going to close this back up and show you the light a little bit more up close. So again, they didn't really change anything on the aesthetics or anything of this light, so it looks pretty much the same. They just bumped up the output. So 4 Cree XML2 LEDs down in there. You can see they each have their own little reflector area. Glass lens on there, nice and tough. You've got that bezel with the slight granulations to help protect from impact. There's the tail cap down there. 2 switches that control the output and everything. Here's that lanyard attachment point. You can see it just unscrews if you want to take it off. But I'm going to leave it on there for now. Nice ergonomics on it. Actually feels pretty good in the hand. It's a nice size. Not really something you can throw in your pocket, but it's definitely a nice beside the door or in the truck kind of light. It's great for that when you need just a ton of output. So we're going to go ahead and open it up, show you the inside of the battery tube. So here is the contact on the head. Here is the battery carrier. One thing I wish that they would do is integrate the battery carrier into the body of the light or into the battery tube. They didn't do that. It's not a big deal, and their battery carriers are actually really nice. They're really high quality. They feel very sturdy, and they last a long time. We never get complaints about these, so they hold up really, really well. But here is the battery carrier. So this light is powered by 4 18650 batteries. All right, got 4 Olight 3400 milliamp hour 18650s. They are really good batteries, really high quality, and they come with a nice carrying case. So they are our best sellers by far, and we recommend them heavily. So there are the 4 batteries in there. Contact points go up towards the head of the light. Let's put that head back on. Screw it back on. All right, we got batteries in there, ready to power all those LEDs and show you the interface. All right, so the interface on here, this switch here on the right is the master switch. Switch here on the left is the auxiliary switch. So pressing the master switch and holding it for about a half a second will turn the light on, and then tapping that switch will cycle through your 4 different outputs. You can get to the max output of the 4,000 lumens from any of the other outputs. Just hit the left switch and it'll go straight into the max output of the 4,000 lumens. Low on there is 35 lumens, still a very reasonable amount of light, as you'll see when we go outside. So you just tap that switch and it'll cycle through. When you do the burst, when you hit it again, it'll go back into the previous mode, whatever output you had it in before you hit that switch. You also have strobe. So you have one flashing mode, not a bunch of flashing modes. Press and hold the auxiliary switch and it'll go straight into strobe. You can also get straight into the burst from off. So if you press the left switch while it's off, it'll turn on into the max output of the 4,000 lumens, and then you can also press and hold and get straight into the strobe from off. So from off, you can get into your memorized output, you can get into your max output, and you can get into strobe. So a lot of versatility in this. You can control a lot of stuff with just those two switches. Pretty nice light, good interface. The switches are in a nice position, so when you're holding it, your thumb's kind of in the natural place to be able to operate those. And they are pretty easy to find in the dark. They're kind of low on there, maybe not super easy if you are wearing gloves or something like that. But if you kind of hold the light and run your finger across it, it's very obvious where they are because they are raised up and they are rubber, so they're obviously a different texture from the aluminum around that. So again, on the interface, so we've got this right switch, the master switch. Press and hold that for a half a second from off. It'll turn the light on. Quickly press it. It'll cycle through your other outputs. Tap the left switch and it'll go straight into the max output from any other output. Press and hold that and it'll go into strobe. And the same thing on the auxiliary switch from off. So the light has lockout as well. The way to get into that is press and hold both switches, and after a few seconds it'll go into a couple of flashes and then it's in lockout mode. So if you press either of the switches, it'll just flash a couple of times. Won't turn on into max output in your pack or anything like that. And the way to get back out of that is to press and hold the switches again, and it'll go into whatever output you had it in last, and then you can just resume your regular operation. It also has thermal protection built in, so you've got an incredible amount of power going through these LEDs, whole lot of heat coming off this thing, and it manages the heat by itself pretty well. But if you're in a hot environment or anywhere else where it just can't dissipate the heat quickly enough, it does have thermal protection built in, so when it gets over a certain temperature, it'll automatically drop the output so you don't damage the light, don't damage your hands or anything like that. Because lights without thermal protection, especially some of the older, lower quality ones, they got pretty hot. And you don't want it getting so hot that it damages the light or burns you or anything like that. So you have the protection built in to avoid all of that. All right, so that is the interface and everything of the new 2015 TK75 with 4,000 lumens. Let's go ahead and take it outside and we'll show you how it does outside. All right, got the 2015 TK75 outside. Got the big 4D mag light that I always use as a control. Let's go ahead and do the 4D mag light first. Alright, so there is a tree about 30 feet away. Dock house down there on the lake is about 100 feet away. Okay, let's try out the TK15, see what it can do. Of course, we're going to go max output first. There's your full 4,000 lumens. Whole ton of light coming out of this thing. Really bright hotspot, gives you some really solid distance, and a very, very bright spill as well. So you get a nice combination of giving you a nice bright hotspot that gives you great distance and lighting up a really wide area at the same time. So nice combination of what a lot of people look for in a flashlight. Obviously not the most compact thing in the world, but other than that, it does a good job on a lot of different fronts. Let me show you the other outputs, what those look like. And of course, when you need it, you got instant access to that max output. Pretty nice interface on this. They did a good job on that. And of course, you have the flashing modes and everything as well. All right, let's actually zoom in on the dock house down there just so you can see how well everything's lit up. I'm actually going to show you the lower outputs because it's kind of blown out the max output. But even the lower outputs, all of them get out there without any problem. The lowest, you can see, it's not giving you any kind of crazy illumination lighting up everything at once. It still does pretty well. Then when you need it, you got that instant access to the max. Alright, let's try this with a longer distance. Alright, got some more space to try out the TK75 2015. Let's go ahead and give it a try. There's your max output of the 4,000 lumens. Boat right there is about 20 feet away. Got a couple targets set up out there. First one is at 50 yards. Second one is 100 yards. Tree line beyond is 130 yards. As you can tell, this thing can do much further than this if you need it to. But at these kind of distances, everything is lit up really, really well. Let me show you the other outputs just so you can see what those look like. Even the lowest output is getting out to the 50 yards pretty well, and actually out to the 100 yards not too bad. And then of course the other outputs all make it out there really, really well. And when you need it, you got that full output of the 4,000 lumens. Very cool light, a lot of things going on with it. Whole lot of output. You got the great throw, you got the great spill, a lot of nice combination of pretty much everything except for compact size. well, relatively compact, especially considering the kind of output you're getting in this thing. So there you go. That is the Fenix TK75 2015 edition. If you like it, you can buy it from me at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Do a lot of gear and flashlight videos. As always, get going and start something. Thanks for watching.